Well, the first transaction from this week was euro dollar. The notice we used to make this transaction was US stock rally on spending bounce and strong dollar hits crude. According to this notice, the US stocks rallied to near a record high after data showing an increase in consumer spending underscored the strength of the world's largest economy and made the speculation over the look for interest rates. The dollar maintained gains and also the dollar advanced against the most of its major peers, while the oil was retreated. Sentiment among currency investors has shifted back and forth in recent weeks and how aggressive the Fed would be at the time when central banks in other developed economies continue a favor of increased stimulus measures. Atul Lilly says that the dollar appreciation is likely to resume over the balance of the year. The factors that are contributing to the strong cyclical and secular US dollar outlook remained, including economic growth and nations' divergent monetary policy from other central banks. So, for this reason, we decide to make a long in this transaction, taking the dollar appreciation account as the increase in the consumer spending and the gains maintaining of the dollar against the other currencies.
In the second transaction of the week on August 30, it was dollar yen. We used the new dollar gives up against the backing focus, obtaining two orders. In this case, the new was expressing that the greenback gained against to the yen to 130 to 39 after hiding 130.53 at highest since July 29. When we look at the graph, it follows the fall. We began to sell dollar because the yen was estimated in this moment, and the explication gives the same notice Wednesday update. And this one was saying that the dollar was the fall due to speculation on the employment and his influence in the interest rate.
Well, the third transaction of the week was pound euro. The notice we used to make the transaction was pound bulls encouraged by signs of post-Brexit economic optimism. This article talk about the sterling rose to its highest level in 4 weeks against the dollar and the euro as a measure of the UK manufacturing output unexpectedly expanded in August. The pound expanded its gains. US data showed a gauge of manufacturing unexpectedly contract in August for the first time in 6 months. The pound appreciated 1% to 84.11 pence per euro after reaching the strongest level since August 4th. The UK currency is still down about 11% versus the dollar since the day of the referendum. ING Spottle sees the pound falling to $1.25 by year end, while the median of analyst predictions compiled by Bloomberg is for a drop to $1.26. According to this, to the increasing behavior of the pound that improves its competitiveness against the euro, we decide to make a long, but in the moment of the transaction, the behavior of the currency was in decline. So in that moment, the most convenient transaction was to make a short, even we make a long for a short period of time.
In the last transaction of the week on September 2, we used dollar Canadian dollar. When we initiated the transaction, we did on basis of Canadian July trade. Deficit change says odd numbers. Energy sector change. In this new explain that the energy sector, one of the strongest in Canada, was not presented positive results. And in other news, Canada stock future flat headed of US United States jobs date. The deficit is expected to have contracted slightly. We should have based also in global stock charted by potential dovish Fed dollar gains. The dollar was to rise because expected United States jobs date back gave the Federal Reserve path well leeway to stand to interest rates. We fulfilled a loan when we had to file a short because the currency basis it was devalued for what we were going to obtain much more sell in it. We did a loan because for a strange reason we saw heard the rise when it started falling down. It was inevitable to lose near $100.